12 stages down. The penultimate day will be the deciding factor for the 2018 Dakar Rally. Will they consolidate? Will they capitulate? Or will they dominate?
Just incredible pictures from this year's rally. But we're not done yet. We've arrived from San Juan here in Cordoba for the penultimate day of what's been an incredible rally.
Yes, it has. One day left. Here are today's highlights.
It's a mammoth run from San Juan to Cordoba, a total of 927 kilometres today, with the bikes and quads covering 423 of special stage and the cars and trucks 368. In the bikes today, it was all about bringing it home safely for category leader KTM's Matthias Walkner. He finished today's stage 11 minutes down on eventual stage winner Toby Price. The Australian was flying today. An error-free ride meant he arrived in Cordoba 2 minutes ahead of Kevin Benavides. But he has his work cut out tomorrow if he is to catch the Argentinian for the runner-up spot. It looks likely, though, that with just one stage remaining, Walkner is set to take his first ever Dakar victory with a 22-minute advantage over the local boy Benavides, with Price down in third. In the cars, at the time of transmission, Nasser Al-Attiyah was leading the stage, but not by enough to hassle rally leader Carlos Sainz, who continued to drive cautiously, protecting both his Peugeot 3008 DKR Maxi and his chances of victory. But for his teammate Stefan Petterhansel, lightning would strike twice. The Frenchman clipped a tree whilst pushing hard in the stage, and he damaged the steering rack and lost power steering. Impressively, Stefan did make it to the assistance point, but his chances of a Dakar podium looking bleaker than ever. Bad news too for Bernhard ten Brinker, who was set for a podium finish. Sadly, he retired today when his V8 let go midway through the stage. Up at the front though, Carlos Sainz looks set to take his second career victory for Peugeot as they bid adieu to Dakar competition for the foreseeable future. Here are the results for the bike and car categories from today's stage. And here are the current overall standings. Head to redbull.com/Dakar for full results and much more. Matthias, what a Dakar it has been for you. It's been kind of a steady curve, a consistent curve of just strong performances. Sum it up so far.
Yeah, this was my main goal, to make not a big mistakes, because normally it's always coming the key day. And yeah, last year it was the 10th day, and this year looks more or less the same, but in the end, at day 14, 13, you can lose the same time at day 2 or 7. So nothing is clear or sure. So we will see what will happen.
I want to ask you about your navigational skills, particularly on the run into Belen, because when everyone else made mistakes, you absolutely nailed it and found 50 minutes and a really healthy lead.
I'm so no. I want to say I'm so smart, but in the end, it was really like lucky. This part where it was like a river crossing, and I have to choose left or right, and yeah, and I go right, and yeah, this was the lucky move more or less. But in the end, was not about I'm so good, so smart, or so good navigation. But I don't know. It was a little bit of luck. Really, I don't know why I was coming from from a right corner, and I say anyway, after this, like was a small island with some trees, it crosses again to the same. So it doesn't change nothing if you stay left or right, but in the end, looks like it changed a lot. And this is the hard thing sometimes on rally. You can have 13 perfect days. If the 14th is really bad, it can change a lot. So I hope I will continue in this way the next 2 days, but a little bit nervous already.
Sam's had a win, Toby's had a win. You deserve a win. What would it mean to you if, come the end of the stage in Cordoba, you've done it?
Means a lot, and really I was never expecting maybe a top 3 position, but the win, not really, because I don't think I'm the smartest in navigation. Sure, I'm not the fastest rider from everybody, but maybe with a little bit homework, a little bit smartness, we will see after these 2 days.
We're nearly at the end. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
After a crazy day in the trucks yesterday, Walkner and Nikolaev were split by just 1 second. But today, Walkner has an absolute shocker. A godsend for Eduard Nikolaev, who now leads by almost 90 minutes. Now, doing the Dakar with support is hard enough, but doing it as a privateer is even tougher, as Mike Chen finds out.
On the Dakar Rally this year, we've seen and heard an awful lot from the main manufacturer teams like Peugeot and KTM, and they arrive here with multi-million-pound budgets and huge amounts of engineering development and resources. But what about the privateers who come and take part? Well, we're here at MP Sports, and it doesn't look like an amateur team by any stretch of the imagination. All the campers are here, the support trucks, and all the team. But in order to find the budget and put all this together is a massive task.
It's really difficult to make proper job with a private team in this high competition with the factory teams. And I started Dakar 3 years ago. I did first year with factory Toyota, and then I decided I would like to try it with my team, with my car, and to try this challenge with our own team. So last year it was our first time here. It was just learning for everybody, and this year it's first time that we are properly racing. So all team is set up, all the mechanics are ready for the job.
The main or biggest difference is for sure the budget we have and the manufacturers have. For us, it starts to search for sponsors now for next year. We know how much money we need to get all set up, to get the car running, get the car developed. It costs so much money. Only the entry fees, it's a huge amount what you have to spend just to get here. And then you have to pay the cars, the people, the racing car development, tires, fuel. It's just enormous. There's a difference in the amount of people, engineers, technicians. For example, we are here on the Dakar with 18 people, and I think the manufacturers are somewhere above 100.
It's a little bit more difficult because if you have just one car, you have nobody behind you. You are number 1 of the team, but you don't have the number 2, 3, 4 that these guys usually helping to the number 1. So it's not easy to don't have some support from the back, and also we are limited with the people. So I'm okay, we have enough people, but everybody has to do more job, you know, not just one single job.
But still, we have good fun. We do our best. We have fun to beat some manufacturer cars. If you take, there were 12 real manufacturer entries here, and we were on the half, and the rest day we were on the 7th place. So with a real private team without manufacturer support, it made us quite proud.
So, as the team works long into the night on their own privately entered and privately developed car, it really makes you realise that private entries really are the spirit of the Dakar Rally.
Now, in the S/S, the Garuste-Varela battle has been on today with just 36 seconds splitting them. However, overall, Varela now leads by just over an hour. And in the quads, the unstoppable force of nature that is Ignacio Casales now leads by just over 90 minutes. Now, the extreme conditions that Dakar presents require very good boots. Mike Chen caught up with BF Goodrich and has an in-depth chat about rubber.
Now, as we know, in the car category, there is both two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and for official tyre supplier BF Goodrich, they have to supply a tyre for each drive system. Now, this is a much smaller tyre for the four-wheel drive category. This is the two-wheel drive. Now, this four-wheel drive tyre is the same compound throughout the entire rally. They're not allowed to change the compound. It weighs 23 kilos in total and has a sidewall of 7 3/4 inches, and it runs absolutely no anti-puncture system whatsoever. Moving to the two-wheel drive, it's a significantly different system. The first thing, you can see it's much, much bigger. It's a 17-inch rim, the sidewall is 10 inches, and it actually weighs 32 kilos. I'm not even going to bother trying to pick it up. And if you look down here, the two-wheel drives have a system that allows them to inflate and deflate the tyre from inside the car, depending on the terrain on which they're travelling. That's not allowed in the four-wheel drive class. Now, because of the difference in regulations between two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, the two-wheel drive teams are allowed to run an anti-puncture system which has been developed from aviation technology. Basically, we haven't seen a single puncture on a two-wheel drive car throughout the entire rally. That's not been the case with the four-wheel drives, though. Now, this is an all-new tyre developed specifically for this year's Dakar Rally. Last year's tyre, the distance between the blocks was considerably smaller, and what was happening was mud, wet mud, was getting stuck in there and not coming out. So effectively, you ended up with a slick tyre. As we said earlier, the four-wheel drive tyre is exactly the same compound throughout the entire rally, but for the two-wheel drive teams, they have a choice between a medium and a soft tyre. Now, normally, because it's a two-wheel drive car and there's no power going to the front wheels, they'll run a much softer compound on the front, and the tyres will come in at the end of a stage looking pretty much brand new. It's not the case on the rear, because that's where the drive is going to, so the rear wheels are spinning up and doing all of the work. So it's really a compromise to choose between whether you use a medium compound on the back or a soft compound at the back. As for the pressures, well, they'll run between 1 and 2.5 bar depending on the terrain that they're running on, and teams like Peugeot, factory teams like Peugeot, will change the tyres the end of every single stage. An amateur team might only use 2 or 3 sets of these for the entire rally.
There we go, that is it from another fantastic day in the world of Dakar. Tomorrow is the final day, and a really special show in store for you as we will be crowning the 2018 champions.
Absolutely, Alex and myself will be at the finish line. We'll be talking to all of our winners. In the meantime, make sure you follow all the action from the remainder of today and tomorrow using the hashtags Rally Dakar and Red Bull Motorsports. Join us tomorrow in Cordoba for the end of the 2018 Dakar. We'll see you then. From Alex and myself, goodbye.